everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Chris back with my rant stroke thought of the day. And it's all about the Champions League and former players taking pot shots at the new boys, Newcastle United's first game, a point at the San Siro against AC Milan, albeit quite a spent force of AC Milan from previous years gone by, but still AC Milan nonetheless. Yes, we've called this Vidal Hates Toon because it's all about a former player called Arturo Vidal. Who the fuck is that? I hear some of the younger viewers asking themselves. Well, by the magic of YouTube, Mark is going to pull up his picture probably right now next to my face. So Arturo Vidal was not a skillful player in his day. He had some quality and ability. He basically went around kicking fuck out of everybody on the football pitch. He earned the nickname of the Warrior. He played a lot for a lot of big clubs. He played for Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, Juventus as well. So a well-seasoned veteran, but he's been talking about Newcastle United's Champions League game against AC Milan on Twitch, I believe it was, and he described it as the worst Champions League game he's ever seen in the history of the Champions League. He was disgusted by the game. Firstly, he attacked AC Milan players, and he said all they know how to do is run. They did nothing. And then he said about Newcastle, I don't understand Newcastle. They finished fourth, and they come there and they do nothing. He says they should give their lives for that performance and everything else. But thank you so much for your feedback, Arturo. Really appreciate it. But this is something Newcastle United are going to have to get used to, really. These fucking ex-pundit wanks who don't think Newcastle United even deserve to be there, just looking to take pot shots at us. I mean, let's be honest with you. Do you really take much stock of an opinion of a bloke who still has a mohawk in 2023 and is approaching 40 and still looks like he's a fucking passenger on Con Air? I'm not sure I do either, to be fair, ladies and gentlemen, but this guy is still mouthing off as much as he wants to anyway. He's probably just doing it to create exactly what I'm giving him now, nibbles and spotlight. Really, he's still playing, Vidal, by the way. I think he's playing for some Brazilian Sunday League team or something like that, but he's certainly coming towards the end of his career, so maybe he's trying to carve out a new career as the Katie Hopkins of football punditry. But he even went on to say that Manchester City were boring. Now, I wouldn't mind being as boring as Manchester City, mate. I must admit, winning title after title and Champions League after Champions League and having some of the best players in the world playing for us. Give me that fucking level of boring any day of the week. We had Steve Bruce, for fuck's sake, Vidal. That's boring, I'll tell you that for free. But this is what Newcastle are going to have to get used to. It isn't just Vidal. You know, I saw it as well. I was watching TNT, which is the new BT, whose coverage was horrendous, really, to be honest with you. And I had Joe Cole in the studio and the goldfish bowl himself, Jermaine Genius, and there was a stat that was pulled up, which I did laugh at, because I think somebody'd said it was some weird statistical analysis that they said that 58% of people thought Newcastle were going to win the group or something like that. I did actually think that Toon polls had hijacked this stat at one point, but the anchor kind of got it across quite eloquently, and you could see Jermaine Genius's face changing straight away, you know, going puffing his cheeks out and turning the top lip up and all that stuff, and he's saying, you know, well, Newcastle aren't really going to win this group, you know, and he started rambling on about all the other fucking teams in there and everything else. You can just tell these people are uncomfortable with Newcastle United being there. They want Liverpool there, they want Spurs there, they don't want Newcastle United there. They were exactly the same when Leicester won the league, and Leicester in the Champions League was all about little old Leicester and minnows and all this other shit that goes on. They don't want teams outside of the greedy six playing in the Champions League, and neither do the rest of Europe. You know, that's why the likes of Vidal are slagging us off and slagging City off even as well. City are a massive force in Europe now. They're one of the best teams in the fucking world, let alone Europe. They deserve to be in the Champions League. They won the fucking thing, and they deserve to win it because they're one of the best teams out there. And for him to call them boring tells me that the guy knows nothing about football, about as much as he knows about fucking hairstyles as well, to be fair. Maybe you need to calm down, Vidal. He said he was angry. He was so angry at Newcastle United playing the way they did in the Champions League. Just maybe go and chill out, maybe have a walk on the beach, get another tattoo if you can find any space on that human doodle pad of a fucking body of yours, mate, and just, you know, let Newcastle United and let their fans enjoy the fact that they came back into the Champions League after 20-year absence, after 15 years of pure shit and mediocrity in the Premier League, and they didn't get beat at the San Siro. Was it a great attacking performance? No, it wasn't. You know, did we showcase what we could do? Did Isak showcase what he could do? No, he didn't. You know, did Bruno? No, he didn't. Did Tonali? No, he didn't. You know, but it's okay. We got a point at the San Siro. That is a great point. Even if you went there and you went full tilt and you tried to go toe to toe with Milan, getting a point in the San Siro is still one of a great achievement in the Champions League. It's one of the hardest away grounds in European football, and Newcastle have done it. But we're going to get this no matter what we do in the Champions League. We've got Paris Saint-Germain coming up to St James's Park for the next game, and they're all going to talk about Mbappe this and Mbappe that, and he's going to skin this guy, and he's brilliant, and all in Newcastle are shit, and da da da. And if we somehow manage to win that game, you just know what these pundits will be saying. They'll be talking about what tactics. They'll be saying how we're boring, how we're one-dimensional, we're route one, or Dan Burns just, fouled Mbappe all game, whatever. Well, so fucking what if he does? Whatever it takes to get the result, that is what we have to do in this competition, There's a lot of players that were in that starting lineup against that AC Milan team that the Champions League was way beyond their level, with all due respect, and as much as we love them. Sean Longstaff, Dan Burn, Jesus wept. Elliot Anderson was playing for fucking Bristol Rovers 500 days ago, and he's in the San Siro setting up a chance that could have won the game. If Longstaff puts that left or right, we win 1-0. Imagine how much of the bed Vidal would have wet then if we went and did a smash and grab at AC Milan after 25 shots from them versus one of ours, and we'd nicked a 1-0 win. I think that's a perfect away performance in my opinion. But as I say, Vidal was no Jude Bellingham in his fucking time. For him to start throwing mud at people, for putting 10 men behind the ball and digging in and defending resolutely is a little bit ironic, I think, given some of the performances he put in his career. So this is just what we're going to have to get used to. They don't want us there. They want Liverpool there. They want Spurs there. They're going to constantly criticise us. They're going to constantly undermine us as much as they want. And let them do it. I say fuck them. Fuck them all. And let's just enjoy the ride. Let's enjoy this Champions League for as long as we're in it. And if we surprise a few people with some shock results, let's just sit back, grab the popcorn, watch them wet the bed, and laugh our fucking bollocks off. So that's my thought about that. I just thought I'd get on and have a quick rant about it. If this is the kind of thing you like, click subscribe, come and join us. Loads of room for you and ever more. Like the video. If you fancy being a member too, there's membership options there. Click underneath. It's less than a pot of hair gel that Vidal uses to spike up that pubic spike of his. So it's well worth it. Have a cracking day wherever you are, everyone, and we'll catch you later. Cheers, bye.